3 days of heavy rainfalls have seriously affected the whole Modulistan, a small European country that is now struggling to survive. Piedemontese region in the northwestern part of the country was hit the most, with many areas being flooded. The water levels of the rivers around have increased dramatically. Since the situation was getting critical, the overwhelmed authorities sent a request for international assistance to Emergency Response Coordination Center of the European Civil Protection Mechanism.
There are different problems related to infrastructure, floods, communications, electricity lines. The city of Alessandria is the most affected one in the region.
These module exercises are high value in preparing these teams to be deployed in real missions when disasters strike. It is a concrete example of European solidarity.
Blue is a Belgian-Luxembourgish module that is set together from both countries. We have joint management from both sides, and same on the operation level as well. We've got 3 teams that are Belgian, 3 teams that are Luxembourgish.
Our task is to look for people and search people in flat conditions with our capabilities. We are 49 people with 3 boats and some other capabilities like drones, dogs, divers and rescuers. We are trained and well prepared in order to intervene in flat conditions in an international environment.
This is the identity card, not the passport. No. Because you know that Modulistan is not in the European... Can you wait al video se possono aspettare un attimo?
Sì, se puoi trovare
Welcome to Modulistan. It's not a pleasure to receive you because of the emergency ongoing. We request the international assistance. That is the reason you are here.
The biggest challenge for us is the managing of the amount of role players that we organize. Because in our case we organize a scenario for flood rescue using both modules, so the numbers were very high in terms of hundreds of people, 500 of different role players on site.
There's several learning objectives from the participants. Mainly are related to their capacity to work together in an international context.
Our main task is to search and rescue operations and transportation of necessities on the water surface in flood circumstances. The biggest challenge is sometimes to fulfill all requirement tasks effectively. Sometimes we need to negotiate some issues with the other teams and coordinate each other, so sometimes there are some troubles could appear.
You have always to keep in mind to have a maximum of flexibility, because you arrive in another country with other rules, other way to do. They are very good, but you have to adapt yourself to their way to do, and it requires a lot of flexibility to all the teams, but okay, we do it.
We have a pre-script scenario that is more static, and then we have a dynamic part where we actually try to maneuver according to the decision that the participants are taking in the exercise. And this is then controlled by the exercise control with different functions heavily connected to the local authorities, in this case our Italian colleagues, and the trainers to follow up the learning objectives within the exercise itself.
Because we did set up that rescue coordination, we were able to ensure that the teams worked together. So on a lot of the deployments, several teams deployed simultaneously, and they worked in cooperation with each other on site. So we didn't separate them, and also we were able to dive into some of the other skills that the teams have got. So some of the urban search and rescue skills, some of the medical skills, and we use them to good effect in doing things like assessments. We could send doctors, and structural assessments we could send U-side technicians.
The biggest lesson learned from this exercise is to improve the communication between the personnel which are conducting the exercise. I mean, ex-con, exercise controller, the trainers and the venue management. That's the main lesson learned from this exercise.